Good evening, good evening. It's another Monday and another we are talking about you today with Fabio Mazzieri, amazing coach, if I may say friend, and gentleman I know is in our kind of ladies, what we may think it's ladies world of coaching, mindset and inner work. And actually that's the very reason I invited him to talk to us, because we all think ladies mindset inner work, but actually there is so much to explore for gentlemen, and there is not enough being shouted and roared about. uh, yeah, see what I did. So hello Fabio, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Hey, Sandra, thanks
uh,
for having me. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
oh, amazing. So would you like to introduce yourself a little bit and tell what you feel needs to be said tonight about what you do?
Yeah, sure. I am a business mindset and subconscious reprogramming coach. I'm the only guy in the world that is trained in and practicing Dr. Erin Haskell's E4 trauma modality. So I'm very blessed to have a USP in that.
Yeah.
And that is a subconscious reprogramming technique.
Yeah, fantastic. Yes, and we actually met at Dr. Erin's program, and there was very few of you, but as you said, you are the only one training actually in E4 trauma. So let's
Yeah,
explore, because for many guys, they're even when I start watching, like, oh God, that's weird, because that's how it is a little bit. We are a little bit more as ladies. We are. I know this is generalizing, but we are very much tuned into these things. We are a little bit easily seduced by mindset and inner work. But when it comes to gents, there's a little bit of that. I'm not afraid to say ego, because that's when I'm looking around your website and everything, that actually your media, it is very much about kind of leaving that ego not necessarily behind, but working on it, working with it, rather than being led by it.
yeah,
For gentlemen, and this is nothing negative, if I understand it correctly, because
that's right.
and there's no reason why it should be. It's just that how we are wired. Some things come a little bit more easier to us, and some things come a little bit easier to you. So if you don't mind, how did you actually get on this journey? What was that kind of breaking point, or was there few events led to this?
Yeah, I mean, I was in a corporate world for quite a while, and rat race. The job was making me very hard, and very much married to the job. I was getting contacted 24/7, literally at some
Mm.
points of the week, and my friends, my family didn't recognize me, and my wife was just we were just becoming very distant. I was married to the job, not in a relationship. I was away a
Right.
lot. And when my wife went away to the States and did her inner work, we found out that we were very much on different paths, and we were going to continue on different paths unless I stepped up and into my power and realized I needed to rely and have a look inside at me, because that wasn't the guy that she'd met years before, and
Mm.
we were totally on different pathways. And it was important for me to step into my power, the love, to understand that that she was my soulmate. That I wanted to continue to be with her and be a soulmate too.
Yeah.
And it made me realize that that was the slap across the face, wet fish moment that woke me up to say, "Wolf, I need to do something about
Mm.
myself here and look at myself, because everything starts with us, me, you, us, as we look
Yeah.
out." So yeah, that was my moment of just awareness of really waking up to, wow, I need to
Mm.
become aligned here. And how do I become aligned? How do I go about that? So
And
luckily,
you make it sound, and it may have been really easy for you, but you really make it sound easy decision to make, and actually do something about it. So for me, there's two aspects into it, isn't it? Is to actually realize internally that this is something I need to work on, and
yeah,
I kind of, as you like to say, staying a little bit maybe behind when it comes to mindset and inner work. But one thing is to think that, and one thing is to admit it to yourself. And I know we are talking about around boys today, so let's give it for them. But I know it's not only you guys; it's also for us, and especially as women who are actually working in the corporate world and are trying to fill those kind of little bit men-like and masculine shoes as well.
Yeah.
So how was it for you? Was there two sides of the coin for you, or was it very straightforward? Or
It
even with
was
your
kind
clients, what do you see?
for me personally, obviously, it's about my understanding of your inner work is taking responsibility for yourself, to understanding that actually there are areas that are limiting you or keeping you stuck, and you're repeating the same processes all the time and not moving forward. And you hear many conversations like, "I can't do that. I can't possibly do that because I'm stuck here," or "a relationship won't allow me to do that," or
Mm-hmm.
"I want to keep my salary coming in. I can't possibly take a risk." And they're just limitations that there are fundamentals behind that, and everyone does have commitments and stuff, but it's about how you own it yourself and take responsibility to make those decisions in yourself, to say, okay, I'm going to look at these areas for me to move forward. And
Mm-hmm.
that's taking that step back and looking at yourself and how you can, what work do you need to do. Sometimes it's mindset, sometimes it's going back for quite a lot further and doing trauma work. There's a lot of
Is the values sometimes as well that we think what's important for us because the way we were brought up, and
yeah
that's what we should go for. Security, job 9 till 5, security. We're having a kind of corporate job because it pays better and things like that. So going from something like that to coaching or anything, whatever it is for us in particular, what we were brought up in, there can be discrepancies between what we think is important and what actually our values are. And it is
yeah
really,
it's
what
finding
you call
finding your core
commands
values.
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's your core values and what when your boundaries, your intentions you set
Mm.
out for yourself. And I think it's once you, sometimes we can just keep on that rat race and go, keep going every day, nothing ever changes. But it's when you step back and have a look inside that, well, is this job serving me? Is this relationship serving me? Are my friends actually around me supporting me? Is it in the circle? You're in a circle that's very important around you. Support functions and cheerleaders. Are they supporting me? Do they still
Yeah.
serve you after so many years? Things do
Yeah.
change. People change. So it's about understanding what is important to you and setting your core values into play and sticking to those intentions and boundaries you set around your core values, and so you don't get breached on those. But you only can do that when you start looking and assessing yourself after so many years. It's my values now from what years ago are totally different,
And
polar
they will
apart.
change, will they? With events happening in our life, whether it's positive or negative,
Yeah,
if you want to distinguish in some way between them, any event may change our values. So it's important. Somebody having a baby, changing the job,
yeah,
anything that the values may change for us. So when you look back. I'm just trying to, because someone may be listening and they are still in that kind of phase, going forward, and they just don't know where to start, how to start. You used the word
yeah.
assessment, what was actually happening within you. So where would you suggest to start? How do they know it's time for them to do some inner work?
If you are in a job you're not enjoying and you're getting to a Sunday night and you're getting that feeling in your stomach, that icky feeling that you don't want to get up tomorrow morning and go into that work, or or get on your Zoom, because we're not going into offices anymore at the moment. It's realizing that there's something not right with that. If you're having those feelings of limitations, or I'm going to have to see my girlfriend, I'm dreading that. It's not right. It's not serving you. So it's understanding what areas where you have those feelings, and what you feel. I'm not sure about this. This is
Mm.
not really for me. It's just addressing those areas. That's a really good start to have a look at. So it's just about baby steps. You don't go all in sometimes and go after everything. It's just being aware of what isn't feeling right for you. That's a great start. Just
I
assessing
love
your
that
life.
word. The awareness is really powerful, isn't it? And we've had it on this. We are talking about it
Yeah,
a few times, and many times we come back to that awareness and starting listening and starting to actually tuning in and taking that step back, rather
yeah.
than just pushing through, because we are very much taught push through, you'll be fine. But
Keep going.
actually,
It'll be
but
fine. It'll work itself out. You'll be fine. You keep going.
yeah, yeah,
But
which
if it's
is
not really working for you anymore, if it's not, if you're feeling that feeling of like dread, like I don't want to go into work, or it's just important to understand, feel that, actually feel it. It is something. It's something in your body saying, "I'm not happy with this," and
and
please
it's
do
also
something about it.
exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's exhausting for the body. So the energy you gain and the liberation from actually even just giving into the fact that, okay, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And
yeah,
it was very much for me as I worked in I work as a mechanical engineer. I've done 6 years studying, masters and everything. So for me, it was very hard to admit that that's not me anymore, because so much effort, so much time, went into it. So how it was for you, that transition? Because in a way we are opening tin of worms, aren't we?
yeah.
Because once you start digging in, it's not always pretty.
No,
It's very helpful and it's very liberating, but it's not always smooth and pretty and purple, is it?
no, because there's areas in your life that have happened. Instances have happened over the years that still show up in different areas of situations. So it's something that can happen when you're in a childhood that can still have impacts on your decision making around X, Y, Z, whatever your situation, that still triggers you to have those feelings around that thing that happened a long time ago, which you sometimes don't realize has stayed with you for that long.
We may not even remember the event,
No,
because many of these events happen between age 0 and 7.
yeah,
So we may not be even kind of consciously aware of them, but on subconscious level they are very much there, and they are forming our opinion. And between 0 and 7, that's where we are forming the opinion about the world. We are just
yeah,
sponging in. So it's very much created how we see the world today,
yeah,
between that age. So it doesn't have to be event you remember. It may have been just another trigger.
yeah. There must be something around that. Something you just wouldn't think of. There's some of the work I've done over the years now that I've come across, like people going, "Wow, I didn't realize that happened to me," but it took them back to a situation. So it's just about realizing that there are rooted things sometimes that are, keep showing up for you. And yes, if you go in deeper, you are going to unearth. It's like an onion. We are going to start peeling back those limitations, those contractions of that you feel, that it's just unraveling those things that are keeping you stuck and that you just don't want to face. And you when you go after that deep, it isn't pleasant. It isn't nice. You start to learn a lot about yourself. That, wow, I didn't realize I was that type of person. But it's having the courage to go through that stage, to come out the other side, to actually come out of that better person than you were. That person that you probably won't recognize anymore, because things have changed. That you managed to unleash all that negativity around the situation. You can go back and nullify triggers and emotions. You can that allows you expansion. You can reboot your subconscious mind and put
And kind of
nicer
you regain
images.
the control over the world around you. The victim kind of, oh, this is happening to me.
Yeah,
You kind of regain that control that, yes, it is not happening to me, but it's happening for me. And I know this is becoming a little bit of cliche, but it's very much that. Yeah, it can't be described any other way, because suddenly you realize that actually you can choose how you feel and
yeah,
how you react to a situation, which before, and you've got a choice. I think a simpler way to put it is, suddenly your horizon open a little bit, or start opening, and you feel like you've got a choice in your life,
yeah.
which sometimes when we are just going for it, we don't seem to be able to see it.
No, and it's being more present, being more aware of your surroundings, and being
Yeah.
when you're actually present in the now, and working and seeing things, you see things differently. You have a more of awareness around your situations. When your head's down in the rat race, you can't, be it a
You just don't have
relationship.
capacity, really, do
No,
you, to do
and your
anything
energy's
else?
just zapped from that. You're too tired to look at stuff. It might be that you don't want to exercise, and you stick your head down and say, you want to, but you just can't be bothered. And it's just, that's, again,
When
your
it comes
ego.
to the shoulda, coulda, woulda, and guilt and failure and everything else, it's just a vicious circle, isn't it?
Yeah.
So for you personally, what if obviously if you've got any significant moments when you realize that actually, wow, this is powerful, this is really changing something within me, and just to give some idea, when somebody starts his work or some or her, so to kind of give them like milestones or points, how to recognize that actually something is really shifting, something is moving within. Was this something significant for you?
Definitely, work wise, I was more when I did some. I did an 8-week training with another coach, and it allowed me space to realize that my time management wasn't great. My energy was serving elsewhere. It wasn't focused. It wasn't working on the project in hand. And I managed to deliver a project within 6 weeks. It just made me have this laser focus that I hadn't had before. That just cleared I'd made expansion. I'd made space for me to step into, to be able to focus better rather than have a mind wandering everywhere else. Be actually present on it like that. Just bang, I could just see it, and the next project was coming up. I could just focus on it and achieve it in the timeframes
Because
I
you're
set
not
for myself.
preoccupied with things which don't serve
Just
you subconsciously, and you've got
the
a
chatter.
clear head, clear path. Yeah.
Yeah, the chatter's
As
there.
I
And just
tend to call it,
mentioning,
toxins in your mind and in your body,
yeah,
from a nutritional point
it
of
just
view.
makes you aware of what you can focus on when you clear space for yourself. If you're working on your inner self and replacing those limiting beliefs, limiting beliefs around success, limiting beliefs around money, limiting beliefs around health, they're all there. And it's very easy for us to create limiting beliefs for ourselves and believe them and make them happen.
And we and sometimes certainly I was one of those. When somebody said limiting beliefs, what limiting? I'm fine, I don't have any limiting beliefs. Until I started doing some inner work, and here they come with tears, with but liberation as well. But so if somebody sat there listening and thinking, oh, I'm absolutely fine, I'm steady, well, I was a very steady person, and actually that was because of my all limiting beliefs, because I just wouldn't let the emotions really to show. The fact that I love money and having money and earning money and having it, seeing income coming in and out into my account, I would have never said that. Oh my God, that's great, and I didn't realize that. I didn't realize why things are happening to me in a certain ways. And actually, I was creating it all with how I was behaving towards the money, towards the people, towards my situation when it comes to emotions. So I invite everyone who is out there. We all have them, and there's nothing wrong with it. Some of them may never go away, but just to be aware of them.
That's half the battle when you are aware of them.
Yeah, it's power is there, isn't it? So what do you see with your clients, Fabio, the most? I assume you work only with male clients.
I work with male guys. They're the guys that have stepped into my space, and obviously, I just, with what I'm doing, being the only guy in the world doing the E4 trauma of Dr. Erin's, then I just thought it would be a great niche to go work with guys. And
absolutely,
I'm on a mission to awaken 100,000 guys, worldwide. And there's still a long way to go.
Yes, you need a team.
Exactly. Well, this is the thing. The more people that step forward, and
it's quite the mission, Fabio.
It is, but it will be achievable. It's doable.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Will happen.
No limits. No limits.
No limits at all.
So, what do you see with your clients? In what way? What's the main reason, or what's the breaking point for your clients when they actually pick up the phone and message you or call you? Fabio, I think it's time. Do you see any pattern, or is
Yeah,
it their wives sending them? You know.
no. We're realizing that they want to change something. There's definitely a demographic of age when the guys that are stepping into my space of a certain
Would you mind
age,
sharing what that age is?
between 38 and 45.
Okay, so it's pretty much
In
similar for us women
maybe
when
a
we
little bit
start.
higher. Maybe a little bit
Mhm.
higher. There's a 50s in there maybe as well.
Yeah.
But it's guys that have realised that they want to have a focused mindset for their personal life and their business life. So a lot of the show up is around more confidence,
Okay.
more clarity, more vision. More creating more space and unleashing the baggage that they've held on certain situations for quite a long time. And one of my clients had around something about 35, 40, it was 35 years that they'd held on to something that didn't serve them. And that then created a massive amount of expansion for them to create. He's an author, so he cracked on and smashed out a lot of chapters that he'd never done before because it was just a release around making space. So it's just about the guys that are realizing that they need to change. They're not happy with where they are right now. Could be career, it could be personal life, it could be
just general well-being feeling, isn't it?
Yeah,
because sometimes we
happy.
can't really pinpoint exactly what
No.
it is.
Because everyone's got their individual their way, and the way I coach is all intuitive. It's not around this is my package. Yeah, I have a framework of what I do, but it always has to be suited for the right individual. Everyone's different, so you have to, as a coach, you have to be
absolutely
flexible in the way you coach. So yeah, there's very much a lot of stuff hanging around that's been around for a long time that they want to, they realize they can do better in themselves, for themselves, and in their business, and they step into that framework to create that mindset to release limiting beliefs.
Which is amazing that they are stepping into and realizing it. It's
I applaud them. I applaud any guy, male, that steps up and says, you know what, I need to do some work. Doesn't have to be with me. Whoever.
It's courage, isn't it?
It's just amazing to see. And every day they show up, every time we have a meeting, I say to them, well, I'm so glad that you stepped up into your own, in your own power, because you are changing your life for good and the people around you. Their relationships.
It's had massive impact. We don't realize how much capacity we actually are free for others to support. Yeah. So, and it just travels, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like chucking a stone into a pond. If it's a brick,
what do you see the most changing? What are the most kind of significant signs for you as a coach from very first session and for either to the end of the program or halfway through? Because obviously everybody will be shifting at different points, different things. But what would you think you see the most kind of
confidence
coming out? Confidence. It's quite strange as a female sat on your sense. I would never think that there is something guys really need to deal with. Obviously from what I know as a coach, yes, but as someone who wasn't in coaching, confidence is not. It wouldn't be the first thing I would think. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to see.
We're not that much different, are we?
Yeah, no, I mean, the only difference is that you obviously with the masculine and the feminine, that a lot of us, I was one of those, I was always in masculine mode, and it's just about realizing there's a balance. So you need to also tap into your feminine as well. Yeah. So as guys, it's great we're masculine, we're all like proper men, but at the end of the day, that's great action taking, starting stuff, but you also have to nurture what you do. So if you look at the Japanese warriors, the samurais that would always go into battle, but then come back and do inuyako, where that was the flower arranging. So they were tapping into their feminine side to balance out their masculine warrior going into battle, and massive battles. So there's always that balance, and I think it's
that creativity in that feminine and kind of letting go and being open to different perspectives, isn't it? That action is very masculine, the creativity and bringing it kind of
Yeah.
into your
And
mind.
it's important to be both. It's, you know, you can use that
Mm.
adage of being a warrior and a lover. Women still sometimes like men to be, you know, their partners to be action taken and take
Yeah.
leads, but also then the times
Yes,
when they don't.
please.
But it's true though, isn't it? And you know, you want them to step into that, but also
Yeah.
then know when not to. So it's a balance. We need to balance out our masculinity and our feminine in
Yeah.
everyone, and
And it goes both ways,
both ways.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it goes
a lot,
both ways.
a
So
lot of
that
women
balance is
stepping into
important.
masculine right now a lot. You know, with the empower women out there, that the amazing women that I see work with
Mm.
through society and beyond, and
Yeah.
you know, they step into their masculine very quickly, but also then they step back into feminine as well. So they have that balance nailed
Yeah.
down a lot better than, you
And the
know,
corporate world for women is very masculine, isn't it? So
Yeah,
we are very, very quick to actually pick up that energy
yeah,
and kind of even shy away from feminine. And
yeah,
then certainly was the for me, I was completely differently balanced when I came home, and differently balanced when I went to work. And with that inner work, I just can't tell the difference anymore, because I'm just being me. And I
yeah,
think that's the ultimate, isn't it? To
yeah,
bring people to who they are. So
yeah,
nothing more of masculine, nothing more of feminine. Whatever your core is,
yeah.
just be you. Don't try
No, just be you, and also just
push
be a
or
balance that
pull.
naturally comes out. But I think it's just again goes back to awareness, doesn't it, Sonka? That,
Yeah,
you know, if
absolutely.
you're always an action taker, you're always in that, you know, masculine mode, work on you balancing it out. There's always got to be
Yeah,
the yin and yang and the balance there for that. So it's
yeah.
important to have both.
Yeah, the awareness again, come back to it, because you always have a tendency to be pulled to one side, whether it's your more feminine or masculine side. So for me, I still like kind of sometimes to take control and kind of dictate how things should go. And for me, it's especially this year, for me, detachment is the word,
Yeah,
because as an engineer, I liked things lined up, planned, you know, a certain way, spreadsheets,
yeah,
everything, love it. But when tapping into that, actually, no, let go and just enjoy it. Yeah,
yeah.
you know, and I still keep kind of sitting down with myself, like, right, you're controlling stuff now, love. You know,
Yeah.
just bring that
Just let it
feminine
go.
back in.
Just let step
Yeah,
out of that space and let it be. It's kind of,
yeah.
but you know, you'll continue to always do that. You know, just because we've done the inner work, we don't stop.
No,
You
and
know, every
that's
day
back to that awareness, as you mentioned, just to be
we're
aware with
working on ourselves
when
every
you
day.
are being pulled towards it.
Yeah.
So, how people, how guys can contact you, how they can work with you, how
Um,
what you've got on offer at the moment.
yeah, I'm looking for work with 5 guys in April. So that's 4 weeks of mindset and working around changing your confidence, working around, you know, switching your mindset from to expansion basically and work with success, you know, mindset for success. So there's any limiting beliefs around confidence, you know, be it sales, be it, you know, money, be it relationships. I'll work with you to change your mindset for that. And it all
Mm.
depends. It's not one big wand. Everyone's got their different limiting beliefs around what they're facing. So I just, like I said before, I work intuitively with each person.
Yeah,
And I've got a
and
special
it's,
deal.
sorry, there is really power in those 4 weeks, because I know I've done some E4 trauma
Yeah,
sessions, and they are powerful. So
yeah,
with somebody thinking the 4 weeks, what can I do? You know, I've been carrying this for 35 years. The E4 trauma sessions or any subconscious work is very powerful, and you may not kind of resolve everything. That's not the point. The point is that these kind of exercises and these kind of techniques open what needs to be open, so to send you on that journey. And the 4 weeks can do real magic. So don't be don't be thinking the 4 weeks, what can I do in 4 weeks? You can do so much in 4 weeks. When you open a tin of really pretty sparkly worms, because that's what they are. They are
yeah,
nothing disgusting, ugly. These are really nice, sparkly ones, and liberating ones, tasty ones.
yeah.
So you can do a lot. And you've got Fabio is the only guy in the world trained to do this technique. take opportunity. So 5 of you can be lucky for April. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'll put the links, Fabio, anyway, after I finish into comments. So whatever you want me to put, please send it through. And guys can contact you, we'll shout about it. And hopefully you can help another 5 amazing gentlemen
step into their success, step into themselves, and step into their power, find their roar.
Yes, exactly. I love that. I absolutely love that. Thank you very much. Is there anything else you would like to say at the end, which we maybe haven't covered, or you feel like it needs to be said today?
I just feel for any guy that's watching this that maybe thinking something resonates with them, just feel into, what you're feeling at that point, how you feel like it's not you're comfortable with. And then if you don't want to reach out to a coach, reach out to a friend, talk about it. As an initial start, recognize it, first port of call, and then feel into it, and then step into doing something about it. But just don't settle for, if you're not happy with something in your life, don't settle for it. Just take some action to improve your life, because you only get one.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure to have you here, Fabio. The only guy trained in the E4 trauma.
Thank you very much.
Technique with Dr. Erin. Fabulous. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.